materials, possessions. My son worked for that. This family raised him right, for him to accomplish all the goals that he did. This more than a son to me. All I ask for, just give me what belongs to me. That's answers to my son. We ain't caring about no possessions. We ain't even worried about no bank accounts because we going to handle that. We just want justice because at the end of the day, when they give us, whatever they have, that they come to a conclusion with, it ain't going to heal that wound.
Why did you transfer the money out of his bank account that he said shared with my sister the day after he was pronounced deceased at the hospital? My sister and T2 share a bank account. The account is on zero, and it shows the money was transferred to his single account by himself. You got access to his cell phone. You got access to his bank accounts. If you ain't money hungry and desperate and you got all access to everything he got, we ain't worried about no worldly possessions. We screaming justice over here. We want justice over here. It ain't about the money. He got $1 million wardrobe.
When Tyrone Davis Jr., known by his followers as Step Daddy Dro, suddenly died in late December, his death shook everyone who knew him. He wasn't just a content creator. He was someone who connected with his fans on a personal level, sharing his life, his humor, and his authenticity. But his life was abruptly taken, and in its wake, an overwhelming amount of questions emerged that no one could seem to answer. Tyrone's death occurred during a supposed peaceful vacation getaway with his girlfriend. It was meant to be a simple escape from the chaos of life, a retreat to clear the mind and refresh. But something went terribly wrong, and the vacation that was supposed to be a break became a nightmare. His tragic passing left his family heartbroken and searching for answers. But the real twist in this case didn't come from the police. It came from Tyrone's aunt, Natasha Davis. In a live stream that went viral, Natasha shared her raw grief, frustration, and suspicion surrounding her nephew's death. It wasn't just an emotional outpouring. It was the first real crack in the silence surrounding what happened. "I need to know the truth," Natasha said, tears in her eyes, her voice shaking. She was speaking not just for herself, but for her entire family. The details of Tyrone's final moments didn't add up, and she wasn't about to sit back and accept whatever story was being told. Natasha knew her nephew, and she wasn't going to let the truth be hidden away. In that live stream, Natasha spoke with pain and urgency. She revealed how Tyrone's girlfriend, the woman he had trusted, had been telling different versions of what had happened during that ill-fated trip. One minute, she claimed Tyrone had gotten out of the car after a fight, and the next, there were other conflicting details. Natasha was not buying it. Her intuition told her something wasn't right, and it wasn't just her. Many of Tyrone's close family members shared the same concern. But Natasha didn't just ask for answers, she demanded them. "We need to know what happened," she urged, her voice breaking as she called on anyone who knew something to come forward. Natasha wasn't just another grieving aunt. She was a woman on a mission, determined to get the truth for her family and for Tyrone, who could no longer speak for himself. Her live stream sent shockwaves through both her family and Tyrone's followers. It wasn't just a grieving woman speaking out. It was a family demanding justice for a loved one who was gone too soon. Natasha's plea for answers resonated deeply with people all over. They didn't just want to know what happened, they wanted justice. People who had followed Tyrone's journey online began sharing her video, spreading her call for truth far and wide. The more Natasha's live video was shared, the more people started to question the circumstances of Tyrone's death. Fans and followers who had admired him for his humor and relatability were now questioning the narrative they had been given. Could it be that something darker had taken place? Tyrone's followers didn't just watch from the sidelines, they joined the conversation. Many of them began to share their own suspicions and theories about the vacation gone wrong. Could there have been foul play involved? Why had the girlfriend's account changed so many times? And most importantly, why were there so many inconsistencies in the story being told? Natasha wasn't the only one asking these questions. Her audience was too. But what did the authorities think? The police hadn't made any public statements or given any substantial updates. The investigation seemed to stall, with little to no new information. It was as if everyone was waiting for the story to die down. But Natasha's live stream made sure that wouldn't happen. She made sure the truth didn't get buried. Every day that passed without clarity only deepened the family's suspicions and frustration. Despite the questions swirling around his death, Natasha's family didn't give up. They kept pushing, they kept searching for the truth. The mystery of what really happened to Tyrone Davis Jr. had captured the attention of not just his family, but of countless strangers who now stood in solidarity with them. And Natasha, she refused to back down. She had witnessed her nephew's transformation over the years, from a simple man to an online sensation. She knew the man he had become, and she wasn't going to let his story end with a cover-up. The public attention on Tyrone's case had ignited a sense of urgency, not just within the family, but among the people who had been following his journey online. Natasha, through her live stream, had opened the floodgates of public interest, and now everyone was asking, what really happened to Tyrone Davis Jr.? The reactions were swift and relentless. Viewers from all over rallied behind Natasha, demanding justice, but also seeking clarity. The situation was tense, the emotions raw, and the stakes high. Natasha's own resolve became the anchor of the investigation, and while the authorities didn't have the answers, the community was beginning to make noise. The family, supported by Tyrone's fanbase, wasn't going to let this story be forgotten. As time went on, Natasha found herself balancing between grief and determination. She still couldn't comprehend why anyone would harm her nephew, and every new piece of information only raised more questions. She kept her live streams going, her calls for justice echoing louder with each passing day.
And when I tell you he did it, no other person can do it better than him when it comes to how to treat a lady. He wasn't fake. He wasn't phony. He always been real. That Leo in him is a leader, a go-getter, a dresser, and know how to take care of his kids and love on his woman. And when I tell y'all it wasn't just for no social media, that was him, whether it was a holiday, whether it was a regular day, he treated her with the utmost romantic, special love. And that's how he do his family. Not just the mama, not just the daddy, not just the aunties. My nephew was that guy, a shining light from up above. God made him different. He walked around different, full of love, full of laughs, full of goals. And when I tell you that's for the smile that he brought with it, because it wasn't nothing but love when he walked into a room. It is a big deal. And this is what I got to say about this situation that got us all mixed up until we get rest. And let me tell you something. Before we started anything, before I even came on this live, we started off in prayer, because you best believe we know the man up above. And as much as you say you know to God, go to God, we done did that and we still doing that. And some of us, it's hard to pray when you in them shoes. It's hard to talk to God when you in them shoes. And if you ain't been in them shoes, humble yourself, pipe down, because you can't speak on nobody's family. Now I want to address this. Well, why the auntie got something to say? Because guess what? It's one voice. And when big dog Tyrone in the building, he got a daddy. He say, take off, Tasha. And guess what? That's what I'm going to do. That's what we going to do. We going to stand together. One more time, I'm going to show y'all. And let me tell you, this family got some goons. But because we know God is going to handle this situation, he going to fix it. And when I tell you Jesus going to well fix it, that the truth shall come forward. And guess what? Revenge is his, and it's going to happen. You best believe we going to get justice. You best believe we ain't laying down until justice comes, because that's how we built. We've been strong for this death situation come. This is how our family rock. Anytime, anyway, whether it is the good or the bad, we always got each other back. You know why? Because we supposed to. And this just made us go 20 times stronger about this situation. So I want to tell y'all this. Let me sit down one time, because I gotta tell y'all. And this has got to be the biggest thing that took us out of the new year, that hit us and impacted us so hard. But I'm going to start off with Uno. Thank everybody that's been reaching out, reposting, resharing, also just showing love for this family and the burden that we carrying, understanding how my nephew went on a vacation and ended up under a bridge. We know when you pulled off in that car, you pulled off with his cell phone, you pulled off with his wallet, and you pulled off with his gun. No man on planet Earth, he had 2 phones, and you pulled off with all his stuff. But one thing I gotta say, yes, we said it started at the hotel. We know that. I can't tell y'all, MacGyver. I'm going to tell y'all like I said on my Facebook, and if you didn't see it today, I said one thing we do know. We don't know what happened, but we do know he ain't Humpty Dumpty. He ain't sat on the wall and had a great fall. Guess what? I know one thing happened, and whatever it is that happened, we praying that it come forward. I also know y'all left that cabin and y'all went and got a room because y'all checked out the cabin. Y'all got a room. Then you said that you left the room and you went to Papa John's Pizza. Guess what?
We've been there too.
The detective said you've been to Papa John's Pizza. And guess what? The Davis family did their own investigation. When they hit Gainesville, you best believe they just told Gainesville streets down for answers. I didn't tell y'all this because my live went dead the last time. It was a homeless man under a bridge. Under that same bridge, they found my nephew body at. Let me tell you, say it again, brother. The pizza on the ground done flew out the box. The chicken wings has flew out the box. So he went to the hotel to check in on camera. He went to the Papa John's Pizza place on camera. And guess what? Everything was working fine. Everything was working by God Almighty power. All bones, all limbs, nothing fractured in his head. He left the Papa John's people.
But when he got out that car.
When he got out that car. And guess what? Papa John's and the bridge less than 10 minutes apart. So that means, girl, that demon rose up in you as soon as that man got back in the car. You started at the cabin, and after y'all got food, you still on that. You still on that. So between Papa John's and the bridge, something had to happen. And I'm going to tell you, like the homeless man said, by the time he looked over, he barely saw a stagger, and he collapsed. So, okay, I'm going to run it back. Under that bridge, something happened. I don't know these people in Gainesville. I know a lady that said to me, and shout out to you, ma'am, you said that it's a lot of powerful people you know in Gainesville. Next thing I know, I got a dispatch call saying pedestrian versus sedan. Said a bystander, a vehicle, a passenger, no, this baby, this old, this on my page. A passenger saw pedestrian get hit by a vehicle. They said the caller got out because he was in the middle of the road and caller is blocking pedestrian with their vehicle. Now, why would they be in her Infiniti truck? And guess what?
She don't drive.
She don't drive. Her ankle broke.
And
guess what? Miss Lou ain't Lou. Her name Kiara. Miss Lou is a girlfriend to T2. She's not his wife. And I know it's so much mixed up communication on this situation. But it's okay. I'm going to tell you this. The investigators are doing their job heavy. It's wide open. They're going full force because this family ain't letting up. So we're going to let them do their job. We don't know what happened. We know he ain't Humpty Dumpty. But we're going to get to the bottom of it. And we're going to have patience and wait. Yes, everything is moving by God's power. And it's going to be released by in the name of Jesus. We speak that for justice. Not even with that being said. So I'm going to leave y'all there because that's what we stuck at right now while they do the investigation. Number 2. Why did you transfer the money out of his bank account that he said shared with my sister the day after he was pronounced deceased at the hospital? My sister and T2 share a bank account. The account is on 0 and it shows the money was transferred to his single account by himself. You got access to his cell phone. You got access to his bank accounts. If you ain't money hungry and desperate and you got all access to everything he got, we ain't worried about no worldly possessions. We screaming justice over here. We want justice over here. It ain't about the money. He got $1 million wardrobe. He got a son. You think we give a darn about a clothes? We would rather have my nephew here. We would rather have my nephew with breath in his body. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you real quick. I said he should have dusty rolled in the car, fired on the shut him out, took the domestic violence charge, and then just bonded out. But he's not that guy. He's not that guy. No, I'm letting them know he's not that guy. He's not a woman abuser. He ain't going to put his hand on a woman. But I was thinking every scenario, maybe she didn't do it. And I know one thing for sure. Not only that, let me say this. Let me say to this. She put the account to 0. But this is what I want y'all to think about. If all family mourning and all family really going through all kind of anger and emotions, and y'all can hear it in me, and it is real. By my nephew, it's a big deal. By all family members, it's a big deal. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with everything in me. This woman got the nerve to think she going to come to his funeral.
Welcome to Lauderdale. Welcome to Lauderdale.
That's the daddy. That's right. You think you going to come to his funeral? I think you better get a rain check, baby. I think you need a rain check. Because when I tell you, this ain't what you want.
Tell her come she can sit between me and my sister. She can come.
Listen, one thing about it, 2 things for sure. That ain't what you want. God ain't even going to allow that. Girl, you ain't got balls like that anyway. So I'm just going to call a spade a spade. All right, sister? I respect that. So let me calm down. Let me calm down. But guess what? We one voice, we one sound. That's all I want to say. And also, before I pass this phone, sister, what you said? Cuz what you said? If the roles were reversed, my nephew would have been booked under the jailhouse. Wasn't nothing you could tell them people, her family members, her mama. He wouldn't have left her. Say that again. He wouldn't have left her. If the roles was reversed, that nigga would have been in booking before he could have even made a step from the gas station to the hospital. But T2 is not that guy. His heart too good. He loved her too much. And then for you to show your love, if not any other time, now was the time. The lies, the lies, the lies. That's what we got problem with. All the lies. This is my big brother, Big Ty. When I tell you, I respect everybody who making their posts. Y'all content creators trying to make y'all money, do what y'all do. Y'all, it's fine. It's positive. Y'all forcing justice for T2, Dro, whatever. But y'all kind of taking it a little too far. Somebody posted my dad in the casket. We not too long ago lost my dad. Come on, y'all doing a little too much. Some people need to check themselves before they wreck themselves. It's going a little out of hand. But I respect everybody who got love for us and gave us thank you for what we going through.
Hey, listen, y'all, I want to thank all y'all who've been sharing, I don't care about nothing but what belongs to me. Materials, possessions. My son worked for that. This family raised him right, for him to accomplish all the goals that he did. This more than a son to me. Right now I'm walking in the spirit, called the flesh. My guts on the ground. If it weren't for this right here, if it weren't for this here, y'all, if it weren't for this, I don't know where I'd be right now. I ain't asking for nobody to throw nobody under the bus, and I want to say thank y'all, but I do deserve to know, justice for my son. You feel me? Right now ain't the time, right now ain't the time for, the crooked letter I, cause we is about that. You feel me? Right now, all I ask for, just give me what belongs to me. That's answers to my son. We ain't caring about no possessions. We ain't even worried about no bank accounts, cause we gonna handle that. Yeah. If y'all seen the candlelight, y'all want to come out, and share that, please support, please share. If you see anything positive, we ain't trying to bash nobody. We won't speak on behalf of me and the rest of the foundation. We just want justice. Because at the end of the day, when they give us, whatever they have, that they come to a conclusion with, it ain't going to heal that wound. I don't wish this on nobody. I done cried. I woke up in the graveyard with my daddy, because I need the answers. I'm asking the Lord, you feel me, to just hold on me. Tyrone, I'm seeing you. But I don't exist right now. There's the spirit in me. That's the only thing to keep me afloat. You feel me? And, for everybody out there to have a son or a daughter, teach them don't trust no motherfucking body. You feel me? And that's respectfully. Because at the end of the day, we never thought this. We embrace people. And I ain't going to put it on my tongue to call no name. But at the end of the day, you see this here?
And they out the door too.
And I can look all out the door.
Yes. They're out there, the whole yard, the whole
500 plus. We speak in numbers. I'm just asking y'all to share anything, that's pushing positivity to help me and this foundation over here, this David Strong Village, get closure and answers. That's all I ask for. What more can a father ask for? I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody. Like my family said, as a family, we thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We love the support. We love the love. We couldn't ask for more support. We ask that y'all continue to push the issue, push the post, pray, speak to God, tell a friend, post it, share it. Somebody out there knows something, and we want answers. By any means necessary, we want answers. We're not going to stop until we get answers. We was raised a family that prays together, stays together. But we was also raised when you leave with somebody, you come back with who you leave with. She made it back, he didn't. We need to know why. And if you could give us answers, whatever those would be, we would have to take that. But she can't give us answers. Her answers ain't making sense. If you saw something, say something. Reach out. Our inboxes are open. I've never accepted as many friend requests as I've done in this last week because anybody who wants answers, I need them. We need to know what happened to him. It ain't going to bring him back. It's not going to bring it back. And even if you don't feel comfortable talking to us, Gainesville Police Department will take all calls. Alachua Police Department will take all calls. His family will take all calls, all messages. If you know something, say something. They pronounced him dead while my uncle and my grandmother and my auntie sat in that room. That doctor say, if y'all can get him to show us any sign of life, we will go into surgery and stop the test now. He showed nothing. They begged and they prayed and they pleaded. T2, we here. You are not alone. We love you. And we on this live because we here. And he is not alone and we love him. We want justice. We want answers. We need to know. Not knowing is not an option for us anymore. We've always stood together as a family. Anybody who know us, anybody who know this Davis bloodline, know. We didn't just come together when it was somebody's funeral. We don't just come together when it's death. We love on each other all the time. We got him. This is his son. This is his legacy. His son want to know what's going on. His question to us is what happened to my daddy, and we can't answer that.
But we will seek and find.
We will continue to seek answers. We will continue to seek justice. If you know something, say something. We are always open for anybody who know what happened, but we are asking for justice. And we understand that we can't point fingers because we weren't there. We may not know exactly what happened under that bridge or on the way from Papa John's to that bridge, but what we do know is that he left Broward County with you. He was found under that bridge by himself.
No ID.
He didn't have an ID. He didn't have any identifying information. If you know Dro, T2 Tyrone, he keeps 3 phones. 2 guns.
And he ain't worried about a pizza.
A wallet.
Or them pizza wings that was
He didn't have any of that with him.
But he had a pizza.
But he had pizza and wings with him.
Come on now. That don't
You told me out of your personal mouth that you let him out and he was fine. He never was out fine. We asking y'all to continue to pray for our family. We asking y'all if y'all have answers, give us answers. We have a candlelight January 10th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Oswald Park. We are inviting everybody.
If you in Broward County,
I don't care if you in Broward County, New York, Atlanta, another country. You are invited because this is family. We need answers. We need prayers. We need love. We need community. We ain't asking for nothing. We're not asking for nothing. We're not asking for money.
Support.
We're not asking for his money. We're not asking for y'all money. We asking for shares. We asking for love. We asking for support and answers. Because listen to me when I tell y'all this. By any means necessary, he's going out with a bang. Because that's how we do things. And if you was on his YouTube channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because we put Go out with a bang. He going out with a bang. Because that's what we do. We just want justice for Dro. Hashtag justice for T2. Justice for Dro. We want answers.
But as the investigation seemed to stall, the family turned to other means, connecting with private investigators, seeking legal advice, and working with anyone who might help uncover the truth. The question remained, why was the girlfriend's story changing so much? Why were there no answers from the authorities? Was there something she wasn't saying? The conflicting accounts didn't just raise red flags. They screamed for an investigation that wasn't happening fast enough. And as Natasha's live video reached more people, the pressure mounted on everyone involved to take action. If Tyrone's family couldn't get answers from the police, they would demand them from the public. For Natasha, the case wasn't just about solving a mystery. It was about getting justice for a man who meant so much to so many. Tyrone had brought laughter and light to people's lives, and now it was his family's turn to make sure his death didn't fade into the background without answers. Weeks turned into months, and still, the truth remained elusive. The family continued to fight, the live streams continued, and the public pressure only grew. In the absence of official updates, Natasha and her family had become the unofficial spokespeople for justice in Tyrone's case. Their relentless pursuit of the truth showed the world just how far they were willing to go. But as the case wore on, the community of fans and supporters had grown. What began as a cry for help from a grieving aunt had turned into a full-scale movement. And still, there was no closure. No definitive answer. The mystery of Tyrone Davis Jr.'s death continues to haunt his family. His life was taken too soon, and the questions surrounding it have left his loved ones in a never-ending search for the truth. As this story unfolds, we are reminded of the strength of family, the power of community, and the importance of not letting a loved one's death go unnoticed. Natasha's commitment to justice has been unwavering, but the family's journey is far from over. If you've been following this case and believe that justice must be served, now's the time to share this video. Get involved, spread the word, and stand with Tyrone's family as they continue their fight for answers. Subscribe to She's Alive for more on this case and others like it. This is not just about one man's death, it's about bringing the truth to light. Don't let this story fade. It's time for justice.